protecting myself until I was lonely. We often make people leave just to prove that they eventually would. I used to think my heart was a castle. I built high walls. I put up heavy gates. I told myself that if I let no one in, no one could hurt me. I thought being alone was the same thing as being safe. But there is a problem with walls. They don't just keep the bad people out. They keep the good people out too. When you have been hurt before, your brain starts to play a trick on you. It tells you that everyone is a threat. You start looking for red flags in places where there are only white flags of peace. I spent years watching people's hands, waiting for them to turn into fists. I listened to their words, waiting for a lie. Because I was so scared of being fooled again, I treated kind people like they were enemies. I was so busy guarding myself that I forgot how to actually live. Self-protection feels like a superpower at first. You feel strong, you feel smart. But after a while, you look around and realize the room is empty. I remember a friend who always showed up. They stayed when things were hard. They listened when I was sad. But because I was protecting myself, I never let them see the real me. I stayed cold. I stayed distant. Eventually, they stopped knocking on the gate. I didn't lose them because they were bad. I lost them because I was too busy fighting a war that wasn't even happening anymore. We often push away the people who love us because we are afraid they will eventually leave. So, we make them leave first just to prove we were right. Sometimes the things we hate in others are just the things we are afraid of in ourselves. I projected my own fear onto everyone I met. I thought, if I feel this way, they must feel this way too. But that is not how love works. Love requires a person to be soft. It requires a person to say, I am scared, but I am staying. The hardest part about guarding yourself is the regret that comes later. You realize that the wrong people weren't the ones who left. The wrong people to lose were the ones who actually cared. I'm learning now that it is okay to have a door. You don't have to keep it open for everyone, but you have to keep the key close. If you spend your whole life hiding, you will be safe, yes. But you will also be very, very lonely. Being hurt is a part of being human, but losing a good person because you were too scared to be seen, that is a different kind of pain. It is a quiet pain that stays with you long after the walls have crumbled. This is Yanji, signing off.